A very good evening to you all. Welcome and thank you for joining us on today's news recap. Today being on a Wednesday, 13th May, this is TAS TV. I'm Naomi Mutheu.
I'm Mwaka Mbigo. Yoweri Museveni has been sworn in for a 7th term as President of Uganda at Kololo Independence Grounds in a ceremony attended by regional leaders including Kithure Kindiki and former President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Museveni pledged to focus on economic growth, jobs and regional security as he begins another 5-year term. Our reporter Grace Tabitha brings us more events.
Performances and military displays, adding color and pageantry to the inauguration. In his address, President Museveni pledged to focus on regional security, job creation, and economic transformation through industrialization and agricultural development, saying these priorities are key to Ugandans' long-term stability and growth.
When all the families in Uganda join the money economy in the 4 sectors, there will be so many jobs that all our nearly 2 million refugees from the brother countries of Africa that are here will get jobs, and we will have to import other workers from the brother African countries. In the African economies, we must ensure both vertical and horizontal integration. Africa's GDP should at least be 60 trillion US dollars, if not more. Our friends from outside of Africa should also help us to achieve this.
Museveni's swearing in marks the beginning of another 5-year term as Uganda looks ahead to its next phase of political and economic development. Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Grace Tabitha.
Grief and outrage has engulfed Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology following the brutal murder of a 20-year-old student, Alice Rianga, whose body was discovered dumped in Bakowino Forest in Siaya County after she was reported missing earlier in the week.
The second week of the bachelor year education student was last heard from Wednesday before her disappearance prompted by a search by a family and police.
Her body, bearing the sign of brutal attack, was later found by women collecting firewood and moved to Bondo Sub-County Hospital mortuary.
As investigation continues, police have arrested the suspect, Maxon John Otieno, while the family and human rights group demand swift justice for slain students. Our reporter Mwaka Mbigo has more.
Grief and outrage has engulfed Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology following the brutal murder of a 20-year-old student whose body was discovered dumped in a forest in Siaya County. The body of Alice Rianga, a second-year Bachelor of Education student, was found last Saturday in Bakowino Forest after she had been reported missing earlier in the week.
On Monday last week, tuliongea akaniambia dad, unaendeleaje? Nikamwambia niko salama. Ananiambia dad, unajua Lent ni tarehe 10. Najua uko na mambo mengi. Najua tena unajua, lakini nakukumbusha tu.
Alice's father, Richard Rianga, says concern grew after her roommate contacted the family to ask whether she had traveled home after failing to return to campus. According to the family, Alice was last heard from on Wednesday before she missed.
Friday nikamtumia creep. Sometimes unapata creep ile inanifanya naona hii inamfaa. Siku hiyo wakati nituma hiyo creep ikaenda ikatik moja. Ya pili haikufanya, nikajua kwamba yuko online. Toka hapo osezi aliniambia kulikuwa mwili ulikuwa umeokotwa kwa msitu. Kabla tuanze kutafuta na kujua ni nani amemteka nyara, maybe kama achafariki, tuende mpaka Bondo mortuary tujue huo mwili kama anaweza kutambua. Lakini mtoto wangu ilikuwa ngumu kidogo. Nilichukua muda kumwangalia sababu uso ulikuwa umeharibika, kichwa kilikuwa kimeharibika, pia sehemu moja ya mkono na mguu ulikuwa pia kifua kikuwa amefura. Niligundua ni mtoto ni wangu.
A report was later filed at Bondo police station, leading to the search that ended in the heartbreaking discovery. Her body, which reportedly showed signs of a brutal attack, was moved to the Bondo sub-county.
Ilikuwa tarehe 9 mwezi huu wa 5 mwaka huu 2026 saa mchana saa 6, wakati ripoti ililetwa hapa station ya Bondo, hapa police station, na kina mama wawili ambao walikuwa wanachuna kuni walipata mwili wa mtu ambaye hajulikani na ni kama ya mama. Polisi wakachukua hatua, wakaleta ule mwili kwa Bondo sub-county hospital mortuary.
Family members and human rights defenders are now urging investigative agencies to expedite the probe and ensure those responsible are brought to justice. Police have since arrested a suspect. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Mwaka Mbigo. Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwengi Mutuse has called on residents to adopt sustainable farming practices to improve food security and boost agricultural productivity in the region.
The legislature said modern farming methods and close collaborations with agricultural experts will help farmers overcome challenges caused by climatic change and ensure stable food supply. Shiza Makwele with more reports.
Kibwezi West Member of Parliament Mwingi Mutuse has urged residents to embrace sustainable farming practice to strengthen food security in the area.
Now we are moving away from rain-fed agriculture. Mambo ya kutegemea mvua ndio tuweze kufanya ukulima, imeonyesha kwamba it is not sustainable.
The legislature said modern farming method can help increase food production and improve farmers' livelihood.
Haiwezekani sasa tuendelee kutegemea mvua ndio tuweze kufanya kilimo peke yake.
He noticed that sustainable agriculture is key to address challenges brought about by changing weather patterns. Mutuse also encouraged farmers to work closely with agricultural experts to improve productivity and ensure long-term food supply in the region.
Wakati tumepitisha the National Infrastructure Fund, ni tukiuza a government parastatal, hiyo pesa inawekwa hapo, inajenga ingine dams kubwa, ndio tuweze kufanya ukulima kama vile wanafanya Egypt, kama vile wanafanya Israel. So you are very aligned as Compassion, because this is the future. The future is moving away from rain-fed agriculture to harvesting water in a sustainable way, ndio watu waweze kusonga mbele.
Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Shiza Makwele.
After 3 difficult days, rescue teams have finally recovered the third body from the collapsed Owoga gold mine in Bondo.
This marks the end of the search and rescue operations. Naomi Mutheu with more information.
Wale walikuwa wamezama kwa simu tayari wametolewa watu 3 wote. Kulikuwa watu 2, lakini kutoka jana sasa kitu kama saa 10 wa mwisho walitolewa. Sasa maiti sasa siku kwa Bondo mortuary.
After 3 difficult days, rescue team have finally recovered the third body from the collapsed Owoga gold mine. This marks the end of the search and rescue operation.
Ni uchungu sana, inaniuma. Kimtusaidie tu, hata kwa saa hii mtoto wetu alitolewa kama kwa yote. Dakika kidogo tutafukuzwa, ati si tuzonge na nyuma, ati wamama wasizo kidogo, ati kwa inabueka kukuja wanatuambia ati fisi ndi imekula mguu ya brother yangu.
The tragedy has left families in deep pain. The victims were mostly fathers and family providers, and their bodies have been taken to Bondo County Mortuary.
Mimi ni mmoja wa wazazi ambaye alipoteza kijana marehemu alikuwa anaitwa Brandon Juma. Kwa sasa mimi naomba tu serikali iingilie kati.
Relatives gathered there mourning their loved ones. One especially sad case is that an orphan who also lost his brother in the same accident. The affected families are now asking for help from the government and well-wishers. They need support to cover mortuary charges and burial costs.
Tulipata habari hiyo kwa uchungu sana. Kupoteza watu 15 sio rahisi, na pia kwamba kati ya wao 15 tulipata kwamba 12 ni wamama, kumaanisha ya kwamba wamama ndio nguzo ya familia na walikuwa wanajitafutia kujaribu kulinda familia zao. Itwa artisanal minds. Mko na haki ya kufanya ile kazi mnafanya na mko na haki ya kujimudu katika maisha yenu. Tukisonga hapa mbele, kama vile rais amesema, lazima mjiweke kwa cooperatives yenu ndio muweze kupata faida zaidi.
Cover mortuary charges and burial costs. At the same time, local residents are calling for better safety measures to small-scale mining sites. They want stricter rules to prevent such accidents in future, as authorities begin investigations into what caused the mine to collapse.
Sasa hivi bado kuna maofficers na team the experts wako chini huko kwa basement wakijaribu bado ku track. Mbwa wameweza kutuonesha dalili ya sehemu mbili ambayo labda huenda tukapata mili hapo. Sasa wenzetu wako huko chini na wakijaribu kufikia kufuata hiyo lead ya mbwa kuona labda tutapata wenzetu hapo ndani.
Naomi Mungasia reporting for TAS TV.
Kenyan MMA fighter Felista Mugo, popularly known as Young Queen, is making history after becoming the first Kenyan woman to sign with the Professional Fighters League, PFL.
Originally from Makueni County, Mugo began her journey in karate before moving into professional mixed martial arts in 2023.
She has since built an impressive record and recently secured a major world victory during her PFL Africa debut in South Africa.
Currently training in DRC Congo, Mugo says she hopes her success will inspire more African athletes to pursue careers in MMA and help grow the sport across the continent. Mercy Otieno with more reports.
Felista Mugo, also known as the Young Queen, is becoming famous in mixed martial arts. She is the first Kenyan woman to sign in with the Professional Fighters League, which is a big achievement for her and for Kenya.
I switched to MMA, that is 2023, professionally. That is when I had my first professional fight, which actually at that moment I was not settled like this is what I want to do. But after two fights, then now I switched it completely. I took it as a career.
Like many athletes trying to break into a growing sport, the transition was not easy, but support from family and friends gave her confidence to pursue MMA professionally and eventually turn it into a livelihood.
I was like, oh, if this one can think of, I can do this and believe I can do better on this, can I give it a chance? Yeah. And for sure, after giving it a chance, things came well. And we took it serious, we shifted completely. And that's now as a career. That is what bringing ugali kwa meza.
Yeah. Mugo comes from Kibui in Makueni County but grew up in Nairobi South B area. She started training in karate and Tongil Mudo, where she won several national championships. In 2023, she decided to move into professional mixed martial arts, even though the sport had challenges, but her friends and families encouraged her to continue.
No choice rather than winning. That is like I'm holding a responsibility, like now I'm representing Kenya. This
one draw. One of her biggest achievements was winning her first PFL, the African Fights in
Pretoria, South Africa against Uganda's Anit Kiza. She also became the first Kenyan woman to win the Extreme Fighting Championship after getting a technical knockout in 2024.
Last year, the time was ready for African talent to really get the highest level of MMA right here on the continent. So we started 2025 with a bang in July. We did 4 amazing events with our finals in Benin last year, appointing the first ever 4 champions who each won $100,000.
Mbigo now trains at the Elite Training Center in Lubumbashi, DRC. She says that every fight is not only professional but also a chance to represent Kenya internationally. Her success also shows how mixed martial art is growing in Africa and creating more opportunities for athletes.
We understand that, not a lot of Africans really understand that sport, and that is why even with our branding, our innovative brand campaign called 2 Sides this year, we call it 2 Sides because PFL has more than one side. Yes, there's the MMA sport, but then there's also the entertainment outside the cage.
For Mbigo, mixed martial art is not just about winning titles. She hopes her journey will inspire young African fighters and help create more opportunities in the sport for future generations.
We've done about 5 sold-out arenas for 5 different huge markets across the continent. So it's clear the demand for the sport is there. The PFL style of production is there. We give absolute 100% in sort of the production value. You come to an event, you'd feel like this is world class. It's above and beyond what people expect. We aim to exceed expectations every time, and we're getting more fans with each event.
Reporting for TAS TV in Kiambu County, I'm Mercy Achieng.
We are taking a short break. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name. Welcome back, and as we continue, former marathon champion Paul Tergat has urged the government and private sectors to invest more on youth sports development across the country.
Speaking at a sporting event, Tergat highlighted the importance of nurturing young talent through better training facilities, mentorship and financial support. Ruth Oyo with more details.
Residents and leaders have continued to condemn the recent wave of violence witnessed along the coast region, calling for peace, unity and justice. Speaking during a public gathering, various leaders urged the youths to avoid being used to cause chaos and instead focus on building a better future. The leaders emphasized the importance of maintaining peace and respecting the rules of law, saying violence only leads to them.
We need to empower, give opportunities to our young people to grow their potential that they have, unlike before during our time. Across the country, we are not talking only in sport, because in every village should be having a facility of sports so that opportunities to our young people to grow their potential that they have. Unlike before during our time. Across the country, we are not talking only in sport, because in every village should be having a facility of sports so that somebody from Karen will not be able to go all the way to Kasarani.
They also called on security agencies to conduct thorough investigations and ensure those responsible are brought to justice. As tension remains high, Wananchi have been encouraged to remain calm and cooperate with authorities as effort to restore stability.
This is the first event ever has been done in Africa. Sports has been kind of like not popular, but now sport is coming up to help the youths. Especially like recently we had a world record from Sebastian, and this forum has just come to our continent, and especially in the soil of Kenya. It's put a lot of importance in the lives of the youths, and even also their families, to see that their kids are going to be supported through youth and education.
Reporting for TAS TV, I'm Ruth Oyo.
Following the successful conclusion of Safaricom Chapadimba National Finals in Kisumu, focus has now turned to the young talents who stood out with remarkable performance during the tournament.
Hapa nyumbani naishi na mamangu, babangu, sistangu watatu, brothers wangu watatu. Na hapa mtaa nachezanga tu futa na marafiki wangu. Jeni yangu ya futa nilianza class 5. Na hapo class 5 nikajoin the Menace. Sasa hapo ndo penye Dismas Wanjao alinipata. Juu aliona boli yangu nacheza pitch. Kujoin the Menace akanibaya buti, kaanza kutena buti ndo nizoe. Niendelea kuperform tu skills zangu hadi class 7. Sasa ndo tukaenda Tona Bulimbo. Ilikuwa Tona yangu ya kwanza. Nilikuwa nacheza na uga fulani. Tulikuwa wa mwisho. After hapo nikaanza kutrain hard. Tukaingia form 1. Nianza kucheza matona. Kina matona mingi. But tona yenye nimeona ni mzuri ni ya Safaricom Chapadi. Juu ina support vijana yangu kasisi, madev, maboy. During the inter-counties nilikuwa the most valuable player, nikapewa 10,000. Pia nikapewa scholarship ya TVET. TVET scholarship itanisaidia kuendeleza masomo yangu.
Maintain discipline. Kijana weka bidii kwa mpira. Zai naona ako vizuri.
Ningeomba Safaricom iendelee kusupport vijana yote kama sisi. Juu ikiendelea kusupport vijana wengi watacheza professional football. Dream yangu kubwa ni kuchezea timu za English Premier League, Man U na kuendelea tu hata na vitabu zangu.
Kenya's First Lady Rachel Ruto has called for stronger protection of children in an AI-driven digital world, warning that technology brings both opportunity and rising risks.
She stressed digital equity, urging equal access to the digital tools for all children, and highlighted the dangers of children being exposed and unprotected online.
She also launched the Voice of Children initiative to capture children's experiences and called for continental cooperation to strengthen policies and funding for child online safety across Africa. Daniel with more information.
Search and rescue efforts are continuing in Ole Nairobi, Kajiado County after an 8-story building collapsed, trapping several people beneath the rubble. Emergency teams have remained at the scene for the fourth day as they work under difficult conditions to trace those still missing. Officials say 3 people are believed to have been inside the building at the time of the collapse. Authorities confirmed that one body was recovered on Tuesday and taken to the mortuary as rescue personnel continue with the operation. Residents have also been urged to stay away from the scene to allow emergency team to work safely.
We were hoping they would be on the same floor. Unfortunately, having looked around properly, it was too dangerous to continue in the same direction. So today, we made an assessment and
at the same time, investigation in the cause of the collapse are ongoing, with the leaders calling for stricter enforcement of building safety regulation to prevent similar incidents in the future. Reporting for TAS TV in Kiambu County, I'm Jacqueline Akoth.
Thank you for joining us. That marks the end of our stories today. I was your host, Naomi Mutheu.
I'm Mwaka Mbigo.
Thank you.